Just like to ask you a couple questions about women in the peacekeeping process and your experience in doing that type of work. So how important do you think are women to the peacekeeping process overall?
Well, women and girls are very important for any kind of peace process, because basically you have to understand the root causes of the conflicts. Whether it's, for instance, climate change related, that there is a scarcity of resources, there might be an issue of inequality with employment, or whatever the root causes are. It's very important to involve both girls and boys in the process from the beginning, because if we only focus on the adults, then we risk of not bringing in the young ones to actually help solving the conflicts that the older generation might also pass on. From our perspective as a child rights organization, see that the children's voices are a lot of time neglected in asking for their opinion, and that they want to maybe strive for change and realize their rights in a society. So in that sense, especially adolescent girls, as there is a lot of patriarchal societies where there is a lot of conflicts, are missed out of having the voices heard. So therefore, I would say, yes, it's extremely crucial that both women and girls are heard in any peace process that takes on, but also any other process. It starts basically from young school age, where girls who don't have access to latrines stay home 1 week every month and lose a lot of time of not going to school. So that creates kind of an inequality from the beginning and lack of participation. So to be able to participate in any peace process, which is basically power discussion, you need to set the standards at the first, how to say?
At the onset.
Yeah, at the onset, yeah. When the children are young and to have change in society.
I see. Could you please share with us a personal experience on how a woman's role had played an important part in a certain conflict situation?
When I was working in Rwanda, we saw that after the genocide there was a big shift in the power relations. Due to many men died during the genocide, and a lot of them also escaped from Rwanda to other countries. There were a lot of women who were survivors and who were left to start picking up the pieces of the country and put it together. And many of the women who participated in this process were basically from the beginning a little bit forgotten. They did not receive the same attention and aid. And over the years this also developed, but they were also giving more attention, and they were also giving, because they were taking more places in the community. They were taking suddenly leadership roles. They were started becoming community leaders as they were missing out men. And this also changed the whole society, that a lot of men started accepting women as well as community leaders, seeing women as leaders of businesses and owning their own property, and so started to shift in the society. And today Rwanda is actually one of the countries that, except from Sweden and a few other countries, have the most parliamentarians that are female in the world.
That's very interesting. So we'll move now to the region. So many Southeast Asian societies are largely patriarchal, and this has indeed impeded on many women's empowerment initiatives in the region. How do you think we could overcome this challenge so that women's contribution to conflict situations are better recognized and women can be further empowered by being involved in these types of negotiations?
Well, as I mentioned before, I think it's really crucial that we work to make sure that girls stay in school, that girls are not valued less than boys. So the parents choose to keep the girls in school as well, and not taking them out to pay the school fees for the boys. This is one step at the right direction, because educated children become aware citizens and will also learn how to raise their opinions and know their rights in the society when they're younger, or older. But it's also about having female role models. If you are in a society in rural areas and you are surrounded by men, there are the leaders. There are leaders in the school, in the community. Now we have a massive flood here. Leaders in the school, in the community, in anywhere you look. If you look at the TV and you only see men talking to men about issues, even about issues as a female, then of course, how could you identify yourself for becoming a leader of a country, a teacher, a business leader, etc.? So there also needs to be female role models out in the society. In Southeast Asia, there's a lot of female good role models, and also you have now one of the biggest role models who just turned a president with Aung San Suu Kyi in Myanmar, for instance. So all this also creates a hope and belief in the girls as well, that I can also become this, and I can also show my parents. They could also see that there's nothing wrong being a girl and succeeding in a career. My life doesn't have to be ended with having children, and that's my only right in society, that I can do more. And a lot of times in the societies where there's really these patriarchal structures, you need to find the key people who are basically the agents of change. And this might be community leaders, and this might be school teachers, this might be students, and that's what organizations such as my organization, Plan International, can really also make a shift. In East Timor, we have been working really intensively, for instance, with promoting young girls and women to really go and learn to stand up for themselves, be proud of who they are, and take their place when they go into a room. And this has been basically helping, I would say fostering, but created more self-awareness and more self-esteem, to have raised their confidence to be, for them wanting to take charge even further and becoming leaders in the society as well.